Well, yeah, I mean, if we want to hop straight into Atalanta here, I think the biggest thing we have to start with is the fact that they have the budget of like a mid-table championship side, which is when you put that on
Yeah.
top of everything to be where they are, even if they were a big club with a big budget, to be where they are now is still impressive. But then when you put on top of that the fact that they have the budget of a like Middlesbrough, then we're talking like unreal, like punching above your weight to get to where they are. I mean, like you said, their last two games they scored 9 goals, and they're on pace to
Mm.
score like 150 right now, based on their first three Serie A games. I mean, they've scored, they've now scored um, four or more goals in their first three games. That's the first team to do that since 1987 Real Madrid in the top five leagues. So it's just unreal
Great
stuff.
stat.
It's
I love that
unreal
stat.
stuff.
Yeah, no, it is. And I think, we talk about them as an attacking side. They play 3-4-1-2. It's a pretty ballsy formation, should we say. And, when you play that formation, your attack better be pretty special because you're essentially giving up some solidity at the back to just try and flat out outscore your opposition. Um, and yeah, it's a front three that's kind of come from nowhere. You got Alejandro Gomez, who has been in Italian football for a long time, and he's really what you call a late bloomer. He's got 4 goals, 2 assists already this season, and all the attacks are going through him. And then you've got a really effective strike partnership of Duvan Zapata, who's great at holding up the ball, very strong. And then you've got Luis Muriel, who plays on the last man, and he's fast. And both of them two, they're exquisite finishers as well. So is Gomez. And when you add together, that cocktail of attacking abilities between the three of them, as we've seen so far, the results have just been devastating. 13 goals in 3 games is crazy, crazy stuff.
Yeah, and something that's really impressive about this team is the fact that, we see this all the time where kind of a low budget, mid to lower table kind of team makes a run at, a title or makes a run at a Champions League, and then their squad gets absolutely picked apart in the summer. You look at Monaco
Mm.
of, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago, that the team that had Bernardo Silva, Kylian Mbappe, Benjamin Mendy, and that team was just sold off left and right after that season. That was a bit of a surprise. But when you look at this Atalanta team, they basically kept everybody together after a season last year where they finished in third and they were only, I think, 5 points off of a Scudetto, and what, 90 seconds away from beating PSG in that Champions League quarterfinal and putting themselves in a semifinal. So they've kept basically
Yeah.
everybody but Timothy Castagna, who went to Leicester. And one thing that's so impressive is when anybody leaves this team, they're replaced so quickly and so easily. And what that tells me is that the system that Gasparini has put into place is just so well oiled that it doesn't matter who's in
Yeah.
there, because whoever it is going to do a job for him.
Yeah, I absolutely could not agree more. You've got to give maximum credit to Gasparini for creating this team and this system in such an unorthodox shape as well. And it's because, you talk about teams getting picked apart after success, like I'll say Ajax as an example. Frankie de Jong, Van der Beek's gone now, De Ligt went as well. That's because those players individually were absolutely world class. So this Atalanta team, they haven't really got any world class individuals. Um, so that's what makes it even crazier. It's just a classic example of the team being, more effective than the sum of the individual parts. And like we said, you've got to give Gasparini ultimate credit, who's been in charge since 2016, for creating such a iconic underdog of a team.
Yeah. Now, you say that they don't have any, well, not no individual world class talent. There is one player that you've already mentioned that I just want to throw out there, and that's Alejandro Gomez, who they call Papu Gomez. He is an
Yeah.
absolute baller. I genuinely think he could walk into most top 5 league or top teams in Europe. I truly think he could walk into most teams and at least, vie for a spot in the starting 11. He's that good. Like you said, he is very much a late bloomer, and until this Atalanta team started making runs in the Champions League and in Serie A, no one really knew who he was. But I urge people watching or listening to this that don't really know who Papu Gomez is, just go watch some Atalanta highlights or go watch specifically some Papu Gomez highlights. The guy is genuinely world class. Um, but
Yeah,
but yeah, I
he's
mean,
a, he,
go ahead.
yeah, he's an interesting player. I'm looking at his page now, and he's got no heritage whatsoever in other top level teams. He played for San Lorenzo in Argentina. Metalist Kharkiv was his last team before he joined Atalanta in 2014. So he's just come from nowhere. Even before these last couple of seasons, he wasn't really setting the world alight. So that's why I think you've got to give credit to Gasparini, who's just found such an effective role for him. But yeah, like you say, he's well worth watching because he's on fire at the moment. He's absolutely on fire.
Yeah, and now to just kind of wrap things up here with Atalanta, I think the biggest thing is the steady progression that we've seen, and they finish in a top 4 spot. They make a deep run in the Champions League, and they finish in third. And they just keep getting better and better and starting each season better and better. And who says they can't go out and win a title this year? I mean, you and I both spoke about Inter Milan when we were giving our rankings, and I think most people are looking at Inter to be that team, to what they say in Italy is anti-Juve, which is the team that's finally going to break that streak of Juve just winning. What I think they're on 9 straight titles now. But why
Yeah.
not? Why not Atalanta? I think they're overlooked because of the size of the club and the budget and all that. But at this point in time, they're far better than Inter Milan, and they're probably far better than Juve. So I don't see any reason for them to not go out and win the Scudetto this year, and maybe even just blow the rest of the competition away.